All right, y'all. So we are back with some more 10th anniversary speculation. And there's a lot of different things I want to talk about regarding these cards, just because, it's the first time we're getting these three LRs for part one. But also, I think that, them being redone versions of previous characters, I think it'll be interesting to talk about their typings. Now, typings are usually an important thing, especially when it comes to the teams that you're being able to be ran with. And, type coverage with a lot of these characters could be very helpful. Along with that, depending on the difficult bosses that are out at the time, your typing could really mean quite a bit. Usually for the best units, it may not mean as much, especially when we get to characters that have like massive damage reduction, guard, dodge, and things like that. But still, I think the type a character is will be very important, and that's what we're going to be talking about here today. So we're just going to be talking about all three of the Part 1 LRs, the LR Goku and Vegeta Angel that will fuse into Super Vegito. We have the LR Blue Evolution Vegeta. Then we have the new LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku, right? So I did go ahead and think about the typings that I think the characters will be from my end, just in terms of what partners will they be, and I think that's the main thing. I didn't really want to go off of, hey, what are the bosses currently out right now like, because I think that these guys will be designed potentially in mind with the bosses later on, so that's not really something I could take too much into consideration when it comes to at least this production. Then we'll be reading what people are thinking about the typings for these characters too. And it's just a fun little discussion, right? To see who's right and things like that. That's pretty much the gist of the situation here. So we'll start off with the Dokkan Festival Super Vegito card. And, we'll be using this as a reference in case I want to pull up any characters that pair with this unit and things like that. But we'll hop in again with Vegito. So I think that there are different multiple typings that this character could be, but I'm gonna go ahead and focus on two specific typings in this situation. That is tech and physical. I think it could be either one of these two typings personally, and there are two different reasons why I think this will be the case. Now, one, I think that in terms of tech, there has not been a tech Super Vegito card just yet, and maybe they'll want to go ahead and fill in the last spot. If we take a look here though, we have gotten some tech LRs, quite a few of them in the past few months, right? Tech LR Broly, Tech UI Goku, and then we just got the Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. Now, if this character is designed in mind with like the Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, then it's possible that maybe he won't be the same typing as his Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. So I'm actually going to go ahead and rule tech out for this specific situation, whilst I do think that tech is an option considering that there's no Super Vegito tech character. I think they'll want to go with physical. And again, we're going to be talking about these type coverage situations. I think that when it comes to this guy being physical, there's two characters that he could help either get type coverage by or type coverage himself. Now, first and foremost, we were just talking about it, but the Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. I think this character was designed in mind with being used like either next to or paired with the new Goku Vegeta Angel that will fuse into Super Vegito, especially the Super Vegito side, as this Gotenks does want a final trump card character. And lo and behold, Super Vegito is of course a final trump card character. We can see the fusing Vegetos here, and AGL Super Vegito should be here as well, as we see. So all in all, this character is a tech character, so any int bosses could be quite dangerous to him. So it could be a situation where, hey, with the actual physical LR Super Vegito there, we can go ahead and, I guess, match them together in that sense, where the physical Super Vegeta would be able to kind of help alleviate potentially if there's a lot of attacks where you would put Gotenks usually. Maybe you can kind of switch things around. Gotenks does have guaranteed crits either way though, so he's not going to be necessarily stopped by any int bosses, but having a physical character there will still just be useful. And I guess the very rare situation that you don't hit 24 key, not really common at all though, so I mean, I'm not really gonna go ahead and count that. But another character I think that this could help out with is the AGL Super Vegito. Again, I'm pretty confident that this guy will be receiving a Super EZA. This guy's AGL, and then, you know, physical bosses could, not physical bosses, SDR bosses could potentially have, you know, an issue with the Goku and Vegeta portion of the card, especially if they're not really getting a lot of crits, or even, you know, just the normal Vegito part of the card, especially if, you know, there is not really a significant way to combat super attacks, or just in terms of kind of being stagnated by the boss. We know Vegito characters are usually counter characters as well, so if the counters don't do damage to the boss or doesn't like land a crit, that would really hold you back in terms of what you could do in terms of these final bosses. But, you know, AGO, Super Easy, Super Vegito could really help with that and could help push your team along. And that's why I think that type coverage could be really important when thinking about rotations and certain events and things like that. Plus, you know, if you take a look at physical LRs, I think that we could definitely use a new one. Now, again, we did get 2 last year, you know, but I would say physical in general, like, is not the strongest typing ever. Again, we do have those 2 LRs and Glorio, but outside of that, super physical pretty much falls off the cliff. I guess we do have this Super Saiyan 2 Transforming Goku and the Goten and Trunks as EZAs, but I think getting more physical, like super physical, like characters to kind of fit that mold would be ideal. So that's why I'm leaning towards physical for this guy. Also, you know, I guess, you know, Super Saiyan with physical does look pretty good as well. So that's gonna be my deciding choice here. Physical Super Vegeta would make quite a lot of sense. Now, again, if they want to go with tech, I think that's fine too, but I'm gonna say physical. I'm gonna lock in physical here for my answer with Vegito. Now, of course, you know, we do have the Goku and Vegeta cards I guess I could bring up. I mean, doesn't really mean too much, but I guess physical right here. It'll be a new named character. I just wanted to bring this up just to have it, I guess, but not really much to say from here. So we'll continue on to Super Saiyan 4 Goku. So we have the transforming, you know, Super Saiyan 3 Golden Ape Goku that will transform eventually over time into the Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Now, the one thing about this character is that he doesn't really have a lot of pairings per se with like GT Heroes characters. I mean, if you take a look at like Giant Ape Power, there's pretty much not a lot of really good characters going on here. I mean, one day eventually we'll get in Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta's EZA, but we pretty much know that's not going to happen during this celebration. And this guy, you know, is not really that great anymore. But we do know that the Year 7 LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta should very well be getting an Extreme Z Awakening here. That didn't bring up the art like I wanted it to, but I think he will pretty clearly get an Extreme Z Awakening during the 3rd part of the anniversary. So if we go ahead and take that into consideration with these 2 being a rotation, I could see the Super Saiyan 4 Goku actually being a tech character. Now, I did close Fierce Battle, and I shouldn't have done that. And again, we were just talking about tech characters and how there is a decent amount there. But I do think that when it comes to Super Saiyan 4 Goku specifically, it is the last slot that is open for like a brand new Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Even this guy, you know, even though he's just an SSR, that is a Super Saiyan 4 Goku. We do have the full power Super Saiyan 4 Gokus, but this guy will not be going full power, so I don't really expect that. And again, this guy as a tech character will be able to be type coverage against int bosses by this LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. You know, if Super Saiyan 4 Goku ends up being a slot 1 dominant character, but then, you know, oops, there's type disadvantage, this guy can go ahead and potentially kind of help cover him with his counter chance. He has the damage reduction, and, you know, he won't have to be as tanky considering he would have type advantage in that situation specifically. So I think that would be a really good pairing together. And I guess just attack Super Saiyan 4 Goku is one of the characters that we're just kind of missing in terms of like filling out the Dokkan roster. So that is my choice here, and that's also another reason why I'm thinking the Super Vegeta won't be like a tech character, just because of the fact that I think tech Super Saiyan 4 Goku just makes more sense to me. Now, any other typings that could potentially fit, I mean, I don't really think we'd see like another AGL or Intel or Super Saiyan 4 Goku, especially. At best, it could be physical. Maybe like the Super Saiyan 4 Goku is physical, and then the Super Vegito is tech. But I think the typings work better the reverse way. STR is like an option there, and I mean, to be fair, STR could definitely use a new Dokkan Festival LR. The last one was Beast Gohan. We'll talk about that, of course, but I think this fits honestly to me perfectly. I think that's the pairing with the LR Super Saiyan 4s, having some sort of type coverage there. Again, I'm really focusing on that. I said it like 3 times already, but now it could also be the reverse, like I said, with AGL, but I disagree. I don't think that'll be the case. Now we can move on to Blue Evolution Vegeta, and this one is a little more, I guess, freeform because of the fact that we only have one standalone Blue Evolution Vegeta. We do have a transforming one too that we can consider as an AGL one, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that will be in play. Like, it could just be an LR AGL Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta. I am thinking STR for this guy though. I think that that's what I'm gonna, I guess, lock in terms of this character's typing. STR again hasn't had a Dokkan Festival LR since the Beast Gohan character that came out, you know, about a year ago at this point. I think Super STR could use another Dokkan Festival character. If you take a look at just Super STR in general, I mean, it's not really crazy. We had Roshi, Super Saiyan 3 Dragon Fist Goku, and then Heroes Goku came out, but I think, you know, if we think about Super STR as a typing, I mean, even the like Easy STR Kappa is good, but she's not like crazy. Eventually we'll get Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta's Easy A or Super Easy A, and the same with this STR Gogeta, but that's not really something that's out right now. And in terms of like, let's say Reps of Universe 7, is there really like a good STR character in there? The best one is probably just STR UI Goku. So like, if we think about that team, having an STR character would really fit nicely here. Even in tournament participants specifically, I don't even think there's like a really good STR character. No, I mean, it's pretty much Dispo, which is a decent character to run, and then the UI Goku. So not only that, again, in terms of pairing, I think thinking about pairing this guy with the Tech UI signed Goku, right? He would be able to type coverage Blue Evolution Vegeta in the situations where they would be AGL bosses. Now, AGL UI Goku obviously would not really like pair directly with that character, but it's also a thing where I'm trying to think of the words exactly specifically. UI Goku, I think, has a much better chance at dodging, especially early on, right, than the Tech UI Goku. So I feel like the typing doesn't really matter as much with that character. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I think they would probably think about having this guy paired with the Tech Ultra Instinct Goku, though the AGL Ultra Instinct Goku, of course, does very, very much work as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it, really. So I'm thinking Tech, STR, and then physical. Now, the thing about Int, I do want to talk about Int, just because I think Int is going to get an LR during the celebration. I think that Int definitely needs to get a new character. I just feel like, you know, we just did get the Daima Goku Int card, right? And further beyond that, I think that in terms of the teams that these guys are fitting on, Int isn't really like a needed typing. Like, again, if we think about like Majin Buu Saga for this character, or even like Final Trump card, let's go ahead and bring up these two teams. In terms of Int, we have some decent options. We have the Int Fat Buu, you know, maybe you're thinking, oh, I'm not really gonna run him. There's still the Super Saiyan Transforming Goku, Super Saiyan 2 Transforming Goku, Int Ultimate Gohan, Int Gotenks is actually not a bad option still. And if we take a look at your Final Trump card, there are not really as many options, being fair. So, you know, maybe you can think, oh, like an Int Super Vegito card like that would make sense, right? Maybe it could be like a callback to the year 3 Super Saiyan Goku and Super Saiyan Vegeta 2. There's also the possibility of this like reverse exchange character being different typings. Like, what if the reverse exchange character as Goku and Vegeta is like imagine the card has like 3 different typings where Goku is like AGL, Vegeta is like int, and then the Vegito himself is like physical or something like that, or like that. Something like that could be actually quite interesting if they go ahead and go that way. And I just want to bring that out just because it's a possibility. Like, I don't know, let's say, again, yeah, like if Vegito specifically is physical, but then Vegeta is int, and then Goku's tech, and then it's like those 3 typings right there that you have in mind, or maybe even Vegeta would be another typing that would cover one of the other 2. That'd be cool too. But, yeah. Pretty much. I mean, I guess, could this Goku be STR? Maybe, but I think Vegeta would be the STR character. I'm really feeling like STR with Vegeta, and that's where I kind of like thought about the rest here. And tech with Goku just fits, like, it feels like it fits really well. I think the one, again, that could be most changeable is this Super Vegito, but I don't think that they'd release 2 of the same typing, so I'm gonna cross out STR and tech here. And then I guess it would be physical or maybe ints for this character, but we'll go ahead and read some of the replies here just to see what other people are thinking. I mean, people could have 100% different expectations than what I am thinking here. So Vegito tech, Evo MUI STR, and then Super Saiyan 4 physical. Literally type the first thing that came to mind based off of nothing. I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, it could be that for sure. Blue Evolution STR, Vegito tech, and Super Saiyan 4 physical. I'm interested in the physical Super Saiyan 4 Goku. I guess there's another, here said Super Saiyan 4 physical Goku. In fact, they have the exact same thought process here. Actually, all of them, all 3 of the first comments have the exact same thought process. I closed Vegito by accident. Actually, I could bring up Vegito. Again, I guess it's just because Vegito doesn't have a standalone, like, tech Super Vegito card, so that makes sense. Goku doesn't have like a new LR for physical, and then Vegeta, you know, I think STR would just be a good typing in general to have. And that makes sense too. Sonic Heroes. So you're saying like physical Vegito, STR Goku, and then I guess Evo Vegeta was the idea. I've seen that image kind of floating around. So, I mean, yeah, sure. Like, what does AGL have in terms of like new LR characters? I mean, it was Jiren and the Blue Boys, huh? That is quite some time ago. And then in terms of Dokkan Fest, it was Angel Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Yeah, Angel didn't get really a lot this past year. So, that's fair. That's one thing I kind of overlooked, honestly. Angel didn't really get a lot last year, especially compared to like, you know, even directly to like not physical specifically, but like, I think tech got a good amount of stuff last year actually. So we'll see. Physical Vegito, STR Vegeta, tech Goku. Yeah, this is what I was thinking. A lot of people are really thinking tech Vegito, STR Vegeta, and then physical Super Saiyan 4. You hope no one will be int. That would suck. I think that, you know, even I guess in my specific like thought process, I don't actually have any of these characters in either. But I wouldn't mind int. I think int, super int could definitely use a new card. I guess what would suck is Super Saiyan 4 Goku being int, just because like I feel like that's just like throwing dirt in this guy's face. And you know, maybe I talked about this in a leader skill video. What if like the new transforming Super Saiyan 4 Goku, like his leader skill gives like GT Heroes characters like 7% reduction, and then like this character makes a mini tiny resurgence. That's copium, of course, for this character, and I think a lot of people would take that and run with it. I just feel bad for this character just because I feel like he didn't really like this character was designed around the Omega fight, right? And because of that, once we got different fights that weren't like tuned to this character's kit, he kind of fell off really quickly. And you know, especially on global when he came out, it was Fusion Zamasu meta, and that character was not really a a very, very strong character in that meta. It wasn't bad, of course, but I think there were some issues with him there specifically. So maybe it could be a way for this guy to potentially have some sort of resurgence. I feel like that is something they could very easily have been keeping in mind. So who knows, right? But I don't know. We'll see. And especially, you know, if this character does become relevant in some way or fashion somehow, then them not being the same typing would be good. I guess eventually in the future, I think even this year we could see a Super Easy for the STR, Super Saiyan 4 Goku. So that is another thing where it's like, oh, you know, if this guy's tech, he could be type coveraging this guy specifically too. But not that either of them would be slot 1, I guess. For sure, like, you know, I don't think that STR Super Saiyan 4 Goku would be slot 1, but I think you guys kind of get the point. I personally like characters where it's not the same typings in each rotation at the bare minimum, just because of the fact that certain bosses could really stagnate a rotation like that. But I digress. Let me know what you're all thinking. I think there's a lot of different opportunities for these characters, and of course, I'll catch you all next time.